All right, welcome. Today we are putting on our detective hats and going deep. We're running an on-chain investigation to figure out if a brand new crypto AI trading bot is the real deal, or if it's just smoke and mirrors.
You know, this is the question on everyone's mind in the crypto world. You see a project, it's promising these incredible returns with some fancy new AI bot, but how can you possibly know for sure if it's a game changer or just another scam waiting to happen? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out today.
So let's meet our subject, the BitradeX AI bot. The claim is that it generates actual, real returns for its users, and there's a rumor flying around that this bot is tied to a bigger, well-known project called PL Token. But you know, claims are just talk. We're here for proof.
Okay, so the core idea here is really simple. If this bot is actually doing what it says it's doing, arbitrage, which is just buying and selling stuff really fast to profit from tiny price differences, then the money people deposit can't just be sitting in a wallet collecting dust. It has to be constantly moving. If it's not moving, that's a huge, huge red flag.
So how do we check? How do we see if that money's moving? Well, we're going to pull out the most powerful tool in any crypto detective's toolkit, an on-chain investigation. We are literally going to follow the money, right there on the public blockchain for everyone to see.
For anybody who's new to this, think of on-chain analysis like forensic accounting for crypto. Seriously, every single transaction leaves a digital breadcrumb trail on a public ledger. All we have to do is follow that trail, and we can see exactly where the money went. It's our magnifying glass for this entire case.
Okay, let's get into it. This is where the investigation really kicks off. We start with our first piece of evidence, a small test deposit of Bitcoin sent right into the BitradeX platform just to see where it goes.
And this was the exact amount, just under 1/100th of a Bitcoin. It's not a lot of money, but that's the point. It's more than enough to create that breadcrumb trail we need to follow. This is our starting line.
Now watch how the money moves here, because this is really interesting. First, the deposit lands in a personal wallet, but pretty quickly it gets swept into a much, much bigger wallet, an aggregator, mixing it with funds from a bunch of other users. And then finally, this big pool of Bitcoin gets sent to its final destination, an operational wallet that our sources have linked directly to that PL token project.
And boom, this is our first major breakthrough. When we look at that destination wallet, it is anything but quiet. It is incredibly active. We're talking nearly 500,000 Bitcoin have moved through this thing over time. Funds are constantly zipping in and out, which is the classic signature of a high-frequency trading or arbitrage system. This is a very, very good sign.
But wait, here it is. This is the smoking gun for the Bitcoin trail. In one of the transactions tied to all this activity, we saw 3 different types of Bitcoin addresses being used all at once. Now that is not common at all. In fact, this specific mixed address technique is a known technical fingerprint of the PL token system. It's like finding a signature at the scene of the crime. Case closed on that front.
So the Bitcoin trail pretty much confirms the technical link to PL token's trading system. But you know what? That's only half the story. Now we get to our second lead, a deposit of the stablecoin, USDT.
So, just like with the Bitcoin, a small test deposit of about 104 USDT was made. And sure enough, those funds were quickly moved out of the first wallet. But they didn't go to some trading address. No, they went somewhere else entirely, somewhere very, very interesting.
That USDT ended up at an address that's publicly labeled Kobo Custody. So what's Kobo? Let me tell you. It's not just some random wallet provider. This is a major, regulated, institutional-grade digital asset custodian. They're based in Singapore, and they manage billions of dollars in assets. This is a serious operation.
And just look at who they work with. Kobo provides services to the heavy hitters. We're talking institutional investors, major crypto exchanges, including some that are fully regulated in Hong Kong, and super high net worth individuals. They are not in the business of serving small, anonymous projects.
And that brings us to the most crucial point here. A company like Kobo, with its reputation and its licenses on the line, has to do some seriously deep due diligence on its clients. They simply cannot and will not work with anonymous, high-risk, or potential scam operations. So seeing this connection provides this incredibly powerful signal of legitimacy and trust.
Okay, so we followed 2 completely separate trails of evidence. Now it's time to put it all together, bring it all home, and draw our final conclusion on this BitradeX bot.
And here's the whole picture. The Bitcoin trail gives us the technical proof, the how. It shows us the funds are being actively traded inside the PL token system just like they claimed. Then the USDT trail gives us the operational proof,
The who. It shows this project is legitimate enough to be working with a major, regulated financial institution. Put them together and you have an incredibly compelling case.
Now, the really great thing about this whole investigation is that these aren't some secret, high-level techniques. Anyone can use these same basic principles to do their own research on crypto projects. It's all about protecting yourself.
So here's a simple checklist for you. First, always ask, where is my money actually going? Make a small deposit and trace it yourself with the Block Explorer. Second, is it just sitting there? Check if your funds are actually being put to work in an active wallet. Third, who are they in business with? Look up those destination addresses. And finally, ask, can they be trusted? See if they're linked to known, regulated companies. It's a simple, but really powerful first line of defense.
You know, this case just goes to show that with the right tools and just a little bit of curiosity, you really can uncover the truth behind all the hype. The blockchain is an open book. You just have to know how to read it. So stay vigilant, stay curious, and ask yourself, what will you investigate next?